that's kind of where I wanted to start, was just for you to give a little bit of background information on yourself.
Yeah, you bet. I've lived in Iowa for more than 20 years, and 10 years ago, my wife and I moved to the Linn-Mar district in order to raise our family. We've got two kids here in the district, a fourth grader and a seventh grader, who have been in the district their entire education career. I volunteered throughout the community in the years that I have lived here. I have been a baseball coach, a hockey coach. I have served on the board of directors for the Hawkeye Area Council, Boy Scouts of America. I have taught reading. I have taught financial literacy through junior achievement in the Linn-Mar school system. I've volunteered on the sidelines for football games. I've volunteered to pour ketchup for elementary kids during their lunch at Indian Creek Elementary School. I built beds through Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And now I'm running for school board because I believe it's important, and I believe in the value of public education.
And so I wanted to ask, currently, are you a teacher? Is that
I'm not a teacher. No, I have a lot of friends who are, because we try and understand what's going on in the community, and I've made a lot of connections. I'm friends with librarians, teachers outside of the Linn-Mar School District. But no, I am not a teacher, and I'm not employed by the Linn-Mar District.
so what do you do for work then right now?
Yeah, so I spent about 10 years in the media industry, and I was a reporter on TV for both a station out of Mason City, Iowa, and then a station out of Cedar Rapids. And in the last 13 years, I have been a communications expert and a project manager for Alliant Energy. As a project manager, I work through multi-million-dollar contracts and negotiations to find ways that we can work together and find the best in everybody.
For sure. So this is nothing new for you.
I'm very used to speaking to audiences. I'm very used to, as a hockey referee, so I'm very used to dealing with emotions. I know that emotions can bring out the best and the worst in us. And I'm very familiar with the inner workings of a business and how to be on a board.
And so I know you mentioned it a little bit in your first answer, but why are you running for school board?
I believe public education is vitally important. And right now we're seeing a lot of influence from national groups who are trying to bring national agendas to our local community. And I really want to make sure that we're thinking locally about how's the best way to support kids. I know that the needs that kids have changed over time. What is expected from them entering the workforce is different today than what it was when I graduated high school. And we need to make sure to continue to bring forward what the kids want, what the kids need in their school experience. The things that are important to kids today are different than what was important to me when I graduated. With two kids who are in the district, I know a little bit more about what they're asking for, what they're talking about, what's important to them, what feelings they have, what emotions that they have, and things that they're willing to talk about that maybe some of us, when we were younger, weren't willing to talk about. So it's different. Times have changed, and we need to continue to think about what's best for the kids to prepare them for the future. We're not sending them into the workforce that we entered when 20, 30, 40 years ago. We're sending them into the workforce that they are going to enter. And it's just a different experience. And so our educational system needs to work through that.
And if you're, elected into this role, what do you feel is your duty as a school board member?
My duty as a school board member is, first off, is to be responsible and accountable to the taxpayers in the school district. As a school board member, we are not tasked with day-to-day activities of managing the school district and implementing curriculum. That is what we hire staff for. We hire staff who are educated and have spent years dedicating themselves to understanding the inner workings and what's the best way to go about things. As a school board member, our job is to set goals and then make sure that we hire the right staff to implement those goals, and then to monitor the progress of how are we achieving those goals and determine when a correction needs to be made.
And so what do you want to achieve? What are kind of your goals as a school board member if you're elected?
I like Linn-Mar. We've got two kids who are in the district, and their academics is top notch. I'd put them against anybody else. So I really want to say we want to continue to focus on academics, but we're already doing a good job. And I would debate that with anybody who argues otherwise. What I do want to do is make sure that we continue to think about the entire person, that we continue to focus on arts and language and some of those other skill sets that students nowadays need to bring to the table to help them have a broader world view. I also think that my background in communications will help bring some of the context to the decisions we're making. Oftentimes, people hear the decision that the school board has made, but they might not understand the context behind it. And I feel like a strong background in communications will help me provide some of that context so that everybody can understand our intent and what we're trying to do to move forward.
So obviously, Linn-Mar School Board has been, and the district as a whole has been in the news a lot lately. It's gotten a lot of national attention for different policies and whatnot. Do you think that that is going to play any role in this election?
It definitely is. We keep getting asked about why is Linn-Mar in the news so much when the policies that they passed were the exact same policies that many other schools in the state of Iowa passed. So what I do believe that's important is that we do follow state law, right? And the policies that they have on the books now follow state law. Those past decisions that Linn-Mar made, that the board made, I was not a part of the board, so those are not my decisions. But my decisions would be to follow state law and also find ways to protect kids, to help everybody want to come to school and be their entire self. When students are their entire self at school, we know that they perform better. And when students perform better, that's best for the district, for everybody involved in the district.
Awesome. Well, that just about covers all my questions. Is there anything else you want to tell voters before we wrap this up?
The other thing that I'd put on there is I've heard this thought about diversity of thought, that they want to bring a diversity of thought to the board. And I agree, diversity of thought is great. Where I disagree on diversity of thought is if the diversity of thought comes with supporting conspiracy theories, supporting misinformation and disinformation. That's not diversity of thought. That's just trying to undermine the process.